The poem has a total of 45 lines and 18 short stanzas. It is a free verse poem which allows the speaker to express his observations about the behavior of the bats as flying madly and hanging upside down to sleep. The language of the poem is descriptive in nature, and the poet paints a detailed picture of the bats. He describes them as a black glove thrown up at the light and falling back, flying madly, and disgustingly hangs themselves upside down like rows of old rags when they sleep. This description creates a vivid picture of how bats behave and what the speaker feels towards them. The mood goes from admiration to disgust. At first, the speaker admires the graceful nature of the creatures flying in the sky, but upon realizing that they are bats, not swallows, the mood changes to disgust. And this is depicted in the language he uses to describe them: disgusting old rats. The tone shifts from peaceful admiration to repulsion as the speaker portrays bats as evil, even though they are revered in China.
The title itself introduces us into what the poem is talking about. It immediately gives us a picture of the bat in its natural habitat, showcasing its characteristics, movement, and behavior. Bat celebrates the beauty and significance of creatures like bats that thrive in the night, making the readers to appreciate the complexities and wonders of the natural world. Now, looking at the content analysis of the poem opens with the speaker being portrayed as one in a relaxed state, sitting on a serene Italian terrace, watching the sun set to the west while he appreciates the beauty of the city before the sudden change in lines 1 to 5. In the second stanza, lines 6 to 8, the poet is still caught up in deep sensual feeling of the day's activities, gradually turning into night. Lines 9 to 11, the speaker shifts the listener's focus from the beautiful places he has mentioned to the sky. Look up and you see things flying. He observes that they look like they are sewing the shadows together with a giant spool of thread. In lines 12 to 15, in these four lines, the speaker notices creatures in flight. The different movements of the creatures in the air gives the reader a mental picture of how it swoops and dips in mid-air, depicting the liberty and independence that is inherent in these creatures. Lines 16 to 17, the speaker is puzzled over why the swallows are flying much later than usual and are supposed to be flying together as a group. In line 18, this single line stanza is a rhetorical question showing the speaker's amazement and confusion, which further answers the initial surprise he expressed in the previous stanza. In lines 19 to 24, the speaker describes the creatures as dark air life, no longer swooping in gentle arcs or graceful. From this physical description, he moves to the anatomy, that is, the body of the creature. The wings are serrated like a knife, and the skin as a black glove. In lines 25 to 27, the speaker finally acknowledges what he's seeing above: not swallows, but bats. The exclamation mark underscores the speaker's surprise. Lines 28 to 30, the speaker seems to observe that the birds had changed guards and switched places from the daytime swallows to the nocturnal, that is, night bats. In lines 31 to 33, the speaker expresses his dislike for the bats. Their flight to him creates an uneasy creeping in one's scalp. In line 33, he describes the bats as flying madly. In line 34, the speaker calls the bat by its Italian name, pipistrello. The bat is referred to as a piper on an infinitesimal pipe. The speaker's repeated use of the word black is to refer to the bat in a negative way, showing his feelings. In line 36, he says the bats are widely vindictive, also expressing his uncomfortable state with the creature. Lines 37 to 43, the speaker's voice shows his continued irritability by the words he used in these lines. In lines 44 to 45, however, the speaker mentions China and how in this part of the world bats are seen as a symbol of happiness, while in line 45, the speaker states emphatically, not for me, giving a contrast to the previous line depicting the speaker's hatred for bats. These lines give us an important picture of how human preferences and dislike differ from one another.